So I sat there and booted the game, and my first thoughts was, is this a game or a Pixar movie? And as I spent more and more time with the game, that very notion grew so strong that now I believe in 2021 we are at that place where games can easily look as good as animated movies and maybe even better. Hey, what is happening, guys? This is Orca from Orca's Gaming Corner, and this is my review of Kena Bridge of Spirits. Don't get fooled by the looks of this game. It sure does look like a very casual game that is appropriate for 10 to 13-year-old kids, and that to some extent is correct. However, if you think for a second that the game won't pose any kind of challenge, then you're in for a surprise, as boss fights can get pretty crazy and the themes that the game explores are also pretty mature. In Kena Bridge of Spirits, you play as Kena, a spirit guide, who is in search of the sacred mountain shrine, and on this journey you help a lot of trapped spirits by releasing them and in turn freeing the land of corruption with the help of your small friends called Rot. So let's jump in with the graphics. The graphics of Kena Bridge of Spirits is just fantastic. It feels therapeutic to wander around in this world. The difference in visual fidelity between the cutscenes and gameplay has completely disappeared as far as this game is concerned. I remember the days when we played Warcraft 3 and watched the trailers and cutscenes at that time, and we were always blown away, me and my friends. And when the actual visuals of the game came, it was so terrible in comparison with the cutscenes, even though we enjoyed what was there at that time. I know there are a lot of other games that look equally good, but for me, Kena Bridge of Spirits is that game which actually bridges the gap between cutscenes and gameplay visuals, with absolutely incredible dialogue and animations, and the art style is just like a top tier animated motion picture produced in Hollywood. I don't think there is any game that has a very similar visual style, and in graphics I think Kena is really at the top right now. Now let's talk about the gameplay and the world. The gameplay in Kena Bridge of Spirits is good, but there are some key points that the game lacks. One of them is clearly exploration, the other is freedom of choice, as the game is pretty linear. Especially as the world is so stunning visually, the obvious next step for Ember Labs would have been to make the world more meaningful in an interactive way so that you can explore the world more and do more things. It's not like it's not there, however, I think it's not enough. The design of the game and the game world is also pretty basic, in the sense like every level has a couple of puzzles and then some platforming and doing a couple of quests till you actually reach the boss of that level, and then you defeat the boss and then you go to another level. So this is how the leveling works on the game, and I'm not saying that the puzzles are not good. The puzzles are pretty good. You need to be pretty watchful to solve some of the puzzles, and the other thing is that the boss fights are incredible. So one thing Kena Bridge of Spirits excels in is the boss fights, and I don't know if it's just me or maybe there are other people who feel the same way, but I felt that the boss fights were really challenging and it took a lot of my time to finish those bosses. Combat is very simple but very difficult to master. You have your trusty staff that acts as a melee weapon and can be used as a bow for range also. There are skills that can be purchased with your karma points, which you can collect by doing good deeds with the help of your rot friends. So that is mostly it about gameplay and the world. It's not bad in any sense, it's really good, but it could have done a lot more is all I want to say. And now let's move on to the story, the audio, and some closing thoughts. Game is pretty linear, and so there are not much branching narratives or different endings or things like that. There are also no side quests in the game. Everything is mostly linked with the main narrative, except for a few very small, minute quests wherein you can rescue some villagers by finding their items and delivering to them in their meal. So you can take that as side quests. The main story itself is pretty simple, but the execution here is pretty good, and I felt that the ending was very good also. So if you see, all in all, the narration and the story is good but not great, but then it has that movie like qualities which you would want to sit and watch and play through also. The audio on the other hand is pretty exceptional. The voice dialogue, the ambient sound and the music, all of them complement the visuals perfectly. And all in all, Kena Bridge of Spirits is quite an achievement for a new studio like Ember Labs. And here the theme is, Kena is a short and well-made game that is not overly ambitious, but whatever it does really well. With that, we come to the end of this review. Like, share and subscribe to my channel Orcus Gaming Corner, and I'll see you in the next video.